Well, thank you very much for your time. Surely many fans of Modern Talking Blue System in Blue will be here watching this interview. So it's amazing to have this opportunity to talk to you, to talk with you.
Yes, it's amazing for me too, to be connected to Argentina in real time.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yes, it's really amazing.
Well, maybe in the future you will come here to do some shows. Who knows? Who knows?
Yes.
Surely they always ask you about Modern Talking, but before I want to start with your beginnings. How did you start working on Hansa Records, working in music?
Oh my God, this is a very long history. I will make a long story short. I just started singing and playing music already when I was a child, and I formed my first rock and roll, or at that time it was skiffle or beat band. I started when I was 12 or 13 years old, and since then I always had a band to play with. And at that time, in the beginning of the 80s, I had some projects with my friend Rolf Kohler and Birger Kollais. It was called Straight Flush, and we were at the same company, publisher company, than Dieter Bohlen was working at. And one day he invited us to come to a studio for a just normal studio session. And it was not really an idea about Modern Talking. There was only a singer. His name is Thomas Anders, and a producer, Dieter Bohlen, composer. And we made some German, it's called Schlager. It's German music, Schlager. And there was only one title, and this was You're My Heart, You're My Soul. This was completely different. And it took us a long time to elaborate this sound, and this was new. And by good chances, then we had very soon very big success and many #1 singles, one after the other.
Yeah, so,
long story. Yes.
It's a long story.
There was no project in the beginning. It was just, there was one singer, I told you, and it was Thomas Anders, and we tried some different songs in German and in English, and then the company invented this legendary Modern Talking label, or how to think, this brand mark, trademark, and yes. So it just starting in 1984, in the autumn of 1984, and then it continued till 2001. We were working for this person and made a lot of his productions with our choirs,
Yeah. Well, it's very nice, the picture that you have behind.
Yes, we had the solo part in this Modern Talking project, and when they stopped after the 6th album, then Dieter started this Blue System, and we were part of this Blue System, and we always took a very long parts of the compositions. This was only our voices. Dieter only verses, and then it was our part to make the real music from it, and refrains, and what you call high-pitched choirs, and it's not pitched, it's high-sang choirs.
Yeah.
When we were young, we could sing that high. Now yes, I'm a bit older now.
What is it like to work with Dieter Bohlen and Luis Rodriguez? Because we don't have to forget Luis Rodriguez. I think he was very important too.
He was very important from the beginning. He's a good tone engineer. And of course, he's even a good musician and he has good ideas and he has the technical skills to produce this this unique sound.
Yeah, yeah. And you're still in contact with Louis?
Sometimes, very rarely,
Very
very rarely.
rarely.
I know what he's doing, and I know his wife. It's Josie.
Yeah.
And Leon Ross is her.
Leon Rose, yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are since a long
and tell
time.
me, what is it like to work with Dieter Bohlen and Louis Rodriguez in the 80s?
Well, it was very easy after we have found our procedures and our concept. Then we did our part just yeah, with our own skills. Nobody said do this, do this. We made our thing, and it was exactly that what it needed, what it took. So and Rodriguez did not say too much, and normally Dieter was telephoning with his clients and with lawyers and everything. He did not care too much about the production at all because he knew that he could trust in our skills and in our facilities.
Of course, you know, very talented people, very talented. And in your opinion, what is your favorite song from Modern Talking?
Oh, there are so many. Yeah, the first one was "You're My Heart, You're My Soul." It's a very, very, very good song. It's simple, and it has a unique atmosphere, and so maybe the start was. But there's "Atlantis Is Calling." It's a very good song, and even one of the later ones.
Yeah.
But I think
here a guy is saying, why don't you try to get in touch with Thomas Anders? You know that he released a new album.
We did already when we started Systems in Blue. We contacted Thomas Anders and his management, and they always refused collaboration. They did not. They did not take notice from us. They did not really respect what we are starting to do, and so and we asked him several times later, but he always refused to collaborate with us. So he's
So
Thomas
sadly.
Management said, what use in
Yeah.
old guys?
Oh my God. So sadly. Because, you know, he released a new album and a lot of fans like me, we are waiting like the fusion of System in Blue and Thomas Anders, because there is like the 100% Modern Talking style, but I don't know. It's so sadly for all the fans.
It will not happen. They have their new team, and they think it's the best team that they have. So they should do what they think it's right.
Yeah, of course. But we all know about the bad relation in the 80s between Thomas and Dieter. In your opinion, you think that Modern Talking was going down since 85, 86, or in the same year, 87, 88, when they slip up?
There was always trouble between Thomas and his wife, this Nora, and she spoiled a lot of connections with the TV, and she spoiled connections with the press and everything. And then in '88, Dieter split with Thomas, and he started Blue
Blue
System.
System.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I see my battery is getting low. I have to fix
Okay.
my...
Was there a talk so that you could be part of the visible face of the project?
No, there was no plan to bring us in the public. It was just Dieter and Thomas. This was Modern Talking. And Dieter, television
On
and in
Blue
the...
System?
Please let me talk. In the
Yeah.
video and on stage, Dieter always took the part that we sang. So there was no interest of showing our faces in the public. It was only when we came to Eurovision Song Contest. They needed a real life choir for the television show. You know, Eurovision Song Contest, it's a worldwide event and about 2 billion persons watching. And we were for Germany and for Austria twice. We were in Lausanne and in Malmö in Sweden in 1991, I think, and 1989. We were at this Eurovision Song Contest, and there everybody could see our faces, and still you will find videos on YouTube from these events. So
yeah,
this is the only time when our fans could see our faces for the first time.
Okay. Yeah, I watched that videos. I honestly have to say, I love the long hair of Detlef Wiedeke. It's amazing, you know.
Yes,
and he's still. Oh my God. If you had to recommend someone who does not know about Blue System, what song will you recommend that they listen to?
From Blue System.
Yeah.
My favorite
Here
one
comes.
My Bed Is Too Big. Is my favorite one.
Okay, okay. Your favorite one is My Bed Is Too Big. Okay, cool. And why did you decide to end the job with Dieter Bohlen in the early 2000s?
So there was quarrel between us because of using our vocal tracks for the new production, and we had a lawyer. We went to court, and we wanted to have our share for that. And it was a long process in front of the court. And in the end, we had an agreement. It was bad for us and good for the company. And after that, Dieter did not want to collaborate with us anymore. So this is, you can understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Let's talk about Rolf Kohler. What was it like working with him?
He was my all-time friend. I met him when I was maybe 14 or 15. He played in another band, and I saw him on the stage playing drums and playing bass and singing, and I thought, this is my man. And I talked to him, and in 1969 we formed the band, and it was just after my school. I had my finish of school, and I wanted to study psychology and philosophy. And for some semesters I went to the university, but yes, for me it was always important to play music, and Rolf was my intimate friend since many years. And then in the beginning of the 70s we went different ways. He stayed in Hamburg and I stayed in southern Germany, but yes, in the middle of the 70s we met again, and we had contact always. And yes, in 1978, we had our next band. It was Kentucky. You can find some live recordings from this band. We played. I managed this band for more than 20 years, and we had about 120 gigs a year everywhere, on big events, on small events, and we played a lot covers, and yeah, sometimes we played our own music. But yes, and we had some projects. I told you we formed the Straight Flush. We were in the same company like Dieter, and then we had many years we were working on in studios about 40 or 50 times a year. So
Yeah.
we had to do at that time.
Oh, cool. Well, you said it. You were like working with music like 40 years. What is your opinion about current music comparing to the 80s or 70s?
Current music.
Yeah, what is your opinion?
There is a lot of shit, and there are a lot of good songs, but this was always like that. There was always a lot of shit, and some music is always good, and even old titles, there are so many cover versions of old titles, but there are many very good artists and nowadays. There are very, very good persons making music still.
And tell us about System in Blue. Tell us about the beginning of System in Blue, the things that you did there. How did you feel doing System in Blue, you know?
There was a campaign from the fans. They called us and they said, "Oh, it's so sad that there's no modern talking anymore, and you can make this sound, and you have all these skills, and why don't you make your own project?" And then this person, Thomas Widrat, came to us, and he had already some lyrics, and he made some connections to record companies, and then we decided, okay, we make some songs and let's see what happens. And it was not unsuccessful. We had this Magic Symphony, and it's a System in Blue and something like that.
Yeah.
And we found a real good record company, and they said, oh, let's make an album. And then we made this album, Point of No Return. And Thomas Widrat was our lyric writer for many years. And yeah, this was the story of the first and second album. And then our good friend Rolf Kohler died. Yeah, unbelievable, under unbelievable and incredible circumstances. And so suddenly he was away. This was a big shock. And you know, so we stopped everything, but we had to continue the second album. It was not ready, and we still had this project with this person. What is his name? Mark Ashley. We at the same time we produced this album with Mark Ashley, and we had to finish this. There were still some songs to be composed, and yes, after 2 months of contemplation, we decided to finish these 2 albums, and it was Detlef and me who finished these albums in the early 2007, I think it was. Then we finished these albums, and then we made a very, 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 very long pause. So, but then, yes, we had some offers for live concert, and then we needed a third person, and we invited Olaf Senkbeil for joining us in the shows, and yeah, we had some shows in Russia and in Poland, and yes, there were some live events that we made together, and then we decided, okay, let's get Back in Blue, and we made this EP Back in Blue. So, and this was very successful. It's
Yeah.
still most successful songs. It's Children of the Night is the most successful song that we ever made. We have about 3 or 4 million views on YouTube, and even I can see on my Spotify we have 1 million streamings, and it's not that bad.
No,
It's uh,
you are doing a great job.
yes, it's I tell you, 1 million streamings is no money, but it's appreciation. So
Yeah.
we do our job for appreciation.
Why do you think that the Eurodisco style is very popular in Russia and Poland, in those countries?
Yeah, it's due to the political system. The Soviet Union and all their satellites, they did not like American music. But persons, they listened, of course, this and that. There was no internet at that time. There were only musical cassettes and vinyl records. And vinyl records are hard to copy. Then CDs came, and you could copy CDs. And this music, this Eurodance, this was accepted in the East Bloc, in the Eastern Bloc, and the Communist Bloc. They accepted this Italian Eurodisco, and we belonged to this style. And so Dieter became hero of the youth, and with Gorbachev, he got
Yeah.
some medal. And so they like, and maybe because of this harmonies that this music uses, this is very close connected to the Russian soul. They like these harmonies in major and minor, changing to major and then minor, harmonic minor with a little oriental touch. And this is what
Yeah.
they, from tradition, they like these harmonies, and we use these special harmonies, and maybe it's because of that. But I think it's because of the communist bloc. They did not accept American music, rock and roll, and that what came from the United Kingdom and the United
Yeah.
States.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this.
History, history.
Yeah.
Sometimes political decisions change the things on the society.
Yes, always.
Always.
It's always in a flow. It's always flowing.
There is a guy, Stevie, asking about if you are doing new music on this pandemic situation.
Yes, of course. I can make my music at home. So, and I have this little studio that I'm sitting in. I have a keyboard, I have a computer, and I have a digital audio workstation. So I can record my vocals, and I can make layouts for songs. And for production, I go to the bigger one, to Detlef's studio. He has a real sound studio, and he's very skillful as a tone engineer, and he's awfully skillful in composing and arranging music. And it's only 1 week ago I was at his place. I have to say, this is 200 kilometers away from me, and I have to cross a very big river by ferry. So it's not just around the corner. I have to drive 2 hours and half an hour with a ferry. So it's always 1 or 2 days just to come to Detlef's place and to elaborate and compose and arrange music. We will have a new single soon from our album. There will be a single release. Don't Walk Into the Light, it's the name. It's the second title on our album. And there will be remixes by Johan Perrier and by Detlef and me. And there will be instrumental, and there will be just single release before we will bring our deluxe edition in June. It's already in the press. It's a double CD with a lot of instrumentals, and it's the whole album, Blue Universe, and it's all the titles from our EP that we made before. This was called Blue Horizons, and we have this wonderful title, So Long, and what was the other one? Help me.
Oh, it was great. You know, here he's saying, cool. He will be waiting for your new music. I want to say that you have your YouTube channel too, and there you share a lot of videos on your YouTube channel, a lot of videos with music that you did. So Stevie, you can go to Michael Scholz YouTube channel to listen the music. Yeah.
Yeah, there's really a very, very lot. Even all my things that I make with Johan Perrier. I make this project, maybe you know it, it's MS Project and Michael Scholz. We make songs in deep house and tropical house style. It's very good for international discos, and I can see that there are good streamings. And of course, currently there are no parties. There is no disco, no open disco. There are no parties, no events, no venues. So it's a very, very sad time for artists and for party goers, and so no fun, and sitting at home and waiting for COVID to go away. Get your vaccine shot. How is it in Argentina with this epidemic?
Well, now we are coming to on winter season, so it's very complicated. We are locked down, you know, all the places. Like all the world, you know, it's a bad situation.
Yeah, this is the problem, the vaccination, and it's the only way to solve this this pandemic. So I'm still waiting for my shot. I did not get it, but I will get it soon. Hopefully, yes, I will get it.
Yeah. You know, here is a guy asking if maybe in the future will be a new collaboration with Dieter Bohlen. Is that maybe possible?
No. I don't think this is will happen in reality. No. You refer to older things.
There you have your answer, my friend. You know, because a lot of fans, when Thomas Anders released his new album, say, oh, maybe they will come back again, Mother Talking, Thomas Anders, Dieter Bohlen. I say, come on, guys. You know that will be not happen.
No, I told you already, they have now their new team, and they think it's what it takes and what they need. And so if this is their decision, we cannot more do than offer collaboration, but they always refuse this. So, and
here is a guy asking if you can sing a song from System in Blue.
And the times were hard, are lost in danger, a broken heart, a lonely stranger. I wait till the dawn, the morning will bring back the light. So like that.
Amazing. Yeah. You know, you have an amazing voice. I can't sing in that kind of. I don't have that voice. You know, I try all days on my track, on the shower, but I couldn't. I don't have a good voice. But a lot of fans, we thought that we think that we are good singers. You know, we play the records and we sing together with the music of System in Blue or Blue System or Tolkien.
Yeah, that's why it's made for. It's just for pleasure, for enjoy music and sing along with it, of course.
Yeah.
You're not
Um,
that like the artist, so who cares? Just have
yeah.
fun and enjoy and move your ass and move your body. So
Yeah. 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 You know, of course. Finally, do you want to send a message for all the fans?
yes, of course, I say hello to the world. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on enjoying our music. So this is my
Yeah.
kiss to the world.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody knows that you can find a lot of videos on YouTube about Michael Scholz singing on in her balcony. I love it, all the videos, so cool, so cool. Amazing that.
Yeah, I will continue. We had very bad weather the last days. It was always raining and gray, and even today it's gray, and I think it's raining outside just so that is not too pleasant to sit on the balcony. But I can promise everybody, watch my YouTube channel and yes, and even subscribe my YouTube channel so that I have more members to
Yes, of course.
watch and they will get message when there's a new song. And I'm always on Facebook. You can watch me on Facebook. I will send sometimes photos from my dishes or from the river where I sit. Or yes, or from,
Yeah,
I communicate with the world. So watch my profiles.
well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate. I really, really, really appreciate. I love all the things that we talk. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dankeschön. Vielen Dank,
Yo,
Marco.
de nada.
Have a nice day, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Hey, everybody. And so long to the next time, Lautaro. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure
yeah.
and a for me to talk to you.